purpose of this videotape is to show you the correct opening, operating, and closing procedures for the Taylor Twistmaster Models 162 and 168 soft serve freezers. The Model 162 is the counter version, and the 168 is the console type. Both the 162 and 168 have 3 spout doors. This freezer is a Twistmaster, which allows the operator a choice of 2 separate flavors from the outer spouts or an equal combination of both from the center spout. The same procedures covered in this training program will also apply to the 150, 152 models, which are the tailor-made single-spout counter and console versions. All freezer models in this series have freezing cylinders of 1.5 quarts, 1.4 liter capacity, and hoppers for product storage of 8.5 quarts, 8.1 liter capacity. For this program, we have selected the 168 to demonstrate. Refer to the Taylor Operator's Manual for individual model differences. The procedures described in this videotape are those found in the Taylor Operator's Manual. Keep this manual available as a resource guide. These procedures are important and must be followed accurately in order to ensure the efficient and effective operation of your Taylor freezer. We will begin our Taylor training at the point where you have entered the store in the morning and find the parts disassembled and laid out for air drying from previous night's cleaning. These opening procedures will show you how to assemble the parts into the freezer, sanitize them, and prime the freezer with fresh mix in preparation to serve the first product. Let's review some of the disassembled parts of the Taylor Twistmaster Model 168. This is a beater assembly. The purpose of the beater assembly is to blend air and mix while turning inside the freezing cylinder. It also ejects product from the freezing cylinder. This is the freezer door and the freezer door assembly. The freezer door covers the open end of the freezing cylinder and provides a port for frozen mix to be ejected. These are the hand screws. The hand screw secures the freezer door to the freezing cylinder. This is the draw valve. The draw valve seals off the mix port in the freezer door. When the draw valve is raised, it opens the port, allowing the frozen mix to be ejected. This is the draw valve handle. The draw valve handle is used to raise or lower the draw valve. These are the pivot pins. The pivot pins secure the draw handles to the freezer door. These are the design caps. The design cap provides a star design to the finished product and fits over the bottom of the freezer door spout. These are the O-rings. These O-rings are to provide a seal to various freezer parts. O-rings need to be properly lubricated in order to provide an adequate seal. O-rings are wear items and must be replaced on a 3-month scheduled maintenance basis. A tune-up kit containing all necessary replacement parts is available from your Taylor distributor. This is a tube of Taylor lube. It is an approved lubricant for moving parts and O-rings. Prior to beginning the morning opening procedures, you must first sanitize your hands in an approved solution. First, lubricate the inside of the groove on the drive shaft. Next, slide the O-ring into the groove on the drive shaft and apply an even coat of lubricant to the O-ring and shaft. Do not lubricate the hex end of the drive shaft. Now, insert the beater assembly. Engage the hex end firmly into the female socket at the back of the freezing cylinder. The beater assembly should not protrude beyond the front of the freezing cylinder when properly seated. Assemble and install the remaining beater. Assemble the O-ring into the groove on the back of the freezer door and lubricate. Assemble the front bearing over the baffle rod and position so that the flanged edge is against the back of the freezer door. Assemble the guide bearing to the end of the baffle rod. Do not lubricate the guide bearing or the front bearing. Repeat this procedure for the other side of the door. Install both hand screws on the sides of the freezer door. And with the door assembly seated over the freezer studs, hand tighten both equally. The draw valves must now be installed. For the 2 outer valves, slide the 2 O-rings into the grooves on each valve. Then, with the center draw valve, install the special seal in the grooves. This seal prevents mix bleeding from cylinder to cylinder. Now, lubricate all 3 valves. Lubricate the insides of the freezer door spouts from the bottom opening. And insert the valves from the bottom up. Note, the draw valve has been installed correctly when you can see the slotted opening in the valve through the window of the freezer door. Installing the draw valve handles requires first sliding the O-rings onto each of the pivot pins and lubricate. Align the end of the draw handles into the slots of the draw valves. Using the short pivot pin, secure the right draw handle. Using the long pivot pin, secure the left and middle draw handles. Snap the design caps over the bottom of the freezer door spouts. The machine is now assembled and ready for sanitizing. This is an air tube. It is hollow with a port at one end. The air tube is used to regulate the combination of mix and air when entering the freezing cylinder. During operation, the air tube end with the port is inserted into the mix inlet hole. To begin sanitizing, lay the air tube down in the bottom of the mix hopper. For sanitizing your freezer, you will need a 6-quart, 5.7-liter pail, brushes, and an approved sanitizing agent. Prepare 1 gallon, 3.8 liters of an approved 100 parts per million cleaning sanitizing solution with warm water, according to the manufacturer's specifications. The agent being used in this program requires a 1-step process. However, agents used in your area may differ, requiring a 2-step process. 1 step for cleaning, 1 step for sanitizing. Pour the entire amount of the cleaning sanitizing solution into the hopper. Allow it to flow into the freezing cylinder. And brush clean the mix hopper. Next, brush clean the mix inlet hole. Then, brush clean the air tube. It is very important that you thoroughly clean each of these items. Now, depress the push button switch. Next, move the toggle switch into wash. This will cause the sanitizer in the freezing cylinder to agitate. Allow it to agitate for 5 minutes. With a pail beneath the draw spouts, pull down the draw valve handle. Momentarily, pull down the center draw valve handle to sanitize the center door spout. Draw off all the solution. When the flow stops, close the draw valve handle and place the toggle switch to off. With sanitized hands, stand the air tube in the corner of the mix hopper. Repeat this cleaning sanitizing sequence for the second freezing cylinder in the exact same manner. You are now ready to prime the machine. Priming should take place as close as possible to the time when the first product draw is needed, in order to provide your customers with the best quality product. Having the freezer primed about 30 minutes before the product is needed should be sufficient. With the pail beneath the draw spout, pull the draw valve handle down. Then fill the mix hopper with fresh mix. An appropriate amount would be about 6 quarts, 5.7 liters. Allow the mix to flow into the freezing cylinder. This will force out any remaining solution. When full-strength mix is flowing from the draw spout, close the draw valve handle. It is important that you use only fresh mix when priming the freezer. When the mix has stopped bubbling down into the freezing cylinder, install the air tube with the port into the mix inlet hole. Then, install the sanitized mix hopper cover. Check the mix hoppers throughout the day to see that they have substantial levels of mix. Now, place the toggle switch into auto. Raise the switch rod momentarily to activate the refrigeration system. When the unit cycles off, the product will be ready to serve. Repeat this priming sequence for the second freezing cylinder in the exact same manner. You can now install the front drip tray and splash shield under the freezer door. Then, slide the rear drip tray into the opening on the side panel. You are now ready to begin drawing the product. At the end of each day, the machine needs to be disassembled. To do this procedure, you will need the following items: 2 cleaning sanitizing pails, sanitized stainless steel rerun can with lid, the necessary brushes, cleaner sanitizer, towels, and a 3-compartment sink. Place both toggle switches in off. Remove the hopper cover and the air tubes, and take these parts to the sink for cleaning. Now, with the sanitized pail beneath the draw spout, place the toggle switch in wash. Then, pull down on the draw valve handle. When all the product stops flowing from the draw spout, close the draw valve handle and move the toggle switch to off. If local health codes permit, empty the rerun into the sanitized stainless steel rerun container, cover, and place in the cooler. Repeat the exact same procedure for the second freezing cylinder. You are now ready to rinse the machine. Start by pouring 1 gallon, 3.8 liters, of cool, clean water into the mix hopper. With the brushes, scrub the mix hopper and the mix inlet hole. Now, place the pail beneath the draw spout. Move the toggle switch to wash and pull the draw valve handle down. This will drain all the rinse water from the freezing cylinder. Move the toggle switch to off when this step is completed. Repeat this rinsing procedure in the exact same manner for the second freezing cylinder. Prepare 1 gallon, 3.8 liters of cleaning sanitizing solution in warm water. Pour the entire amount of the solution into the